What's going on, guys? jblader back here again doing a video on the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Today we are yet again on the Minegard SMP. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. I'm really enjoying playing on here. If you don't know, the Minegard SMP is an invite-only content creator SMP similar to Hermitcraft or any number of those SMPs like that. Cube SMP was one a while ago. Legacy SMP, you might have seen. Minecraft. There's been a lot of them throughout the years. But Minegard here, we're all small content creators and we're doing cool stuff. So, in the last episode, we started this monstrosity redstone machine that is the Mazuma Games item sorter. I'll put it in the description yet again. And I managed to finish building this using the Lightmatica Schematica mod. By doing this client-side mod, I was able to see where all the redstone components needed to go and then troubleshoot it. So it should, and I'm going to say should, be working. Now, I'm not going to act like I know how this thing works 100%. I'll give you the TLDR of it. Items will feed in from this side on a minecart chest, and then they get passed along this upper part here. So when they go over this, these chests down here will give out a signal strength depending if the items can go through. So for example, if any of these redstone items can pass through, then it'll give a different comparator length and it'll allow the items to pass through to this layer, these layers of chests down here, in which they'll go into the bottom. And I'm not even going to pretend like I know how this little system right here works. This is getting rid of unstackable items. I know it does that. And I also know that this is how the minecart comes back and reloads and picks up new items. And that is about my, that's about the end of my knowledge on how this thing works. It is a very insane build, and if you want a better explanation of it, you need to go check out Mazuma Games' channel, but I managed to build it here. And then what we gotta do now is fill up these chests with what I want to sort. So obviously this is the redstone one. This is most of the crucial redstone items that I use on a daily basis. The only one here that I'm really missing is sticky pistons. So we should go back and put a sticky piston in here, and you're going to notice that there's a very specific amount of items in here. So there's 3 non-stackables, 5 stackables, and then the rest of them are just going to be 1. So we do this to get a very specific signal length on a comparator. And here's a look at a blank chest. So what we would do is, let's say we wanted to sort rockets, we would take out one of those and put in one of these, and then this chest would sort rockets. And you got to do this all the way around. So what I've been doing is just getting bamboo and minecarts, and I eventually switched over to sugarcane and minecarts just because I had a lot of it lying around. And that's how we're going to sort things. Now, what we're going to add on to this is a shulker box loading system or a mass sorter. So this chest right here is going to be all the items that we want to sort in bulk. So that would be like cobblestone, stone, the different stone variants, something like dirt blocks, stuff like that. So we're going to go grab those blocks we want to sort in bulk, and then they're going to come down to this bottom chest right here. And then we're going to have this bottom chest right here go out into a shulker box loader in the building next to us, which should be pretty cool. So basically for the next little bit, I'm just going to be stocking up these chests with items before I give it a test run. It should technically be functioning now, but I want to go ahead and get it loaded before we start troubleshooting it, because I'm almost confident I've made a mistake somewhere. This thing is insanely complicated. So like I said, I guarantee you I made a mistake somewhere, but that is okay. We're going to do some troubleshooting and hopefully figure out what we need to do with this thing. So bear with me here. We're gonna do some troubleshooting and filling up these chests, and I'll be back shortly. One day IRL has passed. I managed to put in a floor here, even though I haven't finished this little contraption here, so right now it's just a crafting bench thing. But we managed to put in all of the items. So now that I have been troubleshooting this, I've been troubleshooting this design, this thing, for many hours, okay? 5 to 6 hours probably, and I've got it working correctly now. And I've learned a lot along the way. So what we're going to do is hop into a creative world that this thing was built on, the tutorial world, and we're going to come back. I will say that the Lightmatica mod has made this a lot easier, but I still learned a lot about how this thing works, and I want to explain a little bit more how it works now that it is fully functioning. So let's send these items off to get sorted, and let's hop into a creative world. Alright, we are in the tutorial world that Mazuma Games has built, and I guess the place to start is if you're building this design, the areas in which I messed up, I did not realize how all of these clocks work. So basically, there's a ton of clocks here. For example, there's an item here. There's a fern here in this locked item here, and this creates a clock. So remember to put an item in there, and then there's got to be items in this chest right here. These hoppers right here have items. So 18 and then items there. So you got to have really specific amounts of items here. And then yet again, this barrel has to have a very specific amount of items. This is to basically run little hopper clocks. And as you'll see here, there are 4 items in this minecart hopper here. So for a very long time, I was like, why isn't this thing working? And I realized it wasn't working because I wasn't feeding in 4 unstackable items into this chest here. So basically how this thing works is when you put in a stack of items, or you put in an item, let's say we'll put in some spruce planks for right now, right? We'll put in these items, it'll get bounced its way up, and it's going to unload, and it's going to fill in this spot here. It's never going to fill in over a stack. And then what it does is this minecart hopper will go underneath all of these chests, and it'll search for another spruce plank. And when it finds an area for another spruce plank to be, it will create a pulse from a comparator saying that there are now less items in there. There's now an empty slot, which will allow the spruce planks to go around the system and go down into the spruce plank spot. And when the minecart does this little loop here and comes back, it puts the spruce plank back where it's supposed to be. So for example, spruce in here, there is a spruce plank here. When the minecart hopper went under, it took the spruce plank out, which allowed the minecart hopper to drop all the spruce planks in. And then eventually, if we watch this long enough, we're going to see that the spruce planks come around. You see this is now unpowered, and they're going to say, oh, we can go down here because this thing said that we can go down here, so it's going to go down. That is how the system works. It is an insanely complex system that uses very precise numbers of items to create very precise comparator signals, and it also needs a very precise reloading system over here, because if we go back over here and we look at this minecart hopper, when it comes back around, we're going to see that there are items ready to be fed into the minecart hopper, as well as the minecart hopper also is going to have, if we look right here, we're going to see that it also has the 4 music disc there. So that is how that works. I accidentally put a firework rocket in there while I was goofing around with this world earlier. Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, so that's another thing, is if you accidentally place a minecart in the wrong location, or you accidentally nudge it, it does kind of break the system here. So anyway, this thing is loading back up. We can send it off. Usually that would be done on a hopper clock and there wouldn't be a problem. But now that we know where the spruce is, let's fly over here. We're going to be able to see when it goes under the system, it took the spruce out and it just put it back. And then that allows this to unlock. So it only can sort a certain number of items at a time. So for example, we're going to see all the spruce now is going to be unloaded from here, and then it's already picked up the music disc, so it's going to go back under and be fed into that system again. It's going to be reloaded and ready to go. That may not make any sense. Hopefully that wasn't gibberish. That is how the system works, and I figured it out by just doing so much troubleshooting with this thing. And it is truly amazing. So if we look here now, we're going to see the spruce is being loaded in, which is perfect. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool design. I really like it. Mozilla Games for designing this. Well done. This is a great sorter, and we're going to be combining this with some of my own sorting technology, or the Impulse SV item sorters, and kind of be engineering something that's going to be perfect for what we need on the server. So let's go ahead and hop back to the server. Alright, we're back on here, and you can see that now that comparing side to side that I've added these extra rows of chests here. And what I'm going to be doing for the next little bit is just moving items around from over here into the new system. Of course, bulk items are going to need to be sorted and moved, and we're going to be doing that using some shulker boxes to make things a little bit easier. And then I also need to figure out a way to move some of these bulk items that are going to be sorted. So right now I've got bulk items that need to be sorted are going to go into this chest here, and then I want these to run down and into the rooms over here, where we're going to have a separate system set up for that. And we're also going to be able to design this room now that it's functional. So what we're going to do now, or next, I guess you could say, is I'm going to go ahead and move all the items over here. The items in this area are now moved, minus a few non-stackables down here, or special items, so we're going to be moving those. First thing first, we need to really decorate this room, I think, before we finish moving all the items over, and I want to use smooth quartz because I have access to a lot of smooth quartz. I think it's a nice block too, and we're going to use some of the prismarine kind of blocks to match with this. Either that or some cyan color blocks, so maybe cyan terracotta, dark prismarine, something like that. So let's get to work. I think we're getting to a part where I'm starting to like this, using the prismarine blocks here just because it's so different. And down here we have, of course, the sea lanterns and smooth quartz. I'm not 100% sold on this part down here yet, on the prismarine, but I think it's a close start. I think we're going to have to change this floor out. For me, the prismarine here isn't working with the dark prismarine. But what's going to make this really kind of awkward is getting an entrance to this place. Of course, I would want an entrance right here, but the facade isn't going to allow me to do that. So what I think we're going to end up doing is kind of blocking it off right here, and then having a hallway this way to the bulk sorter on the other end, and we're going to be able to go in there. So that's what we're going to try, but that means that this wall here needs to come down, and it means that this area in here needs to be cleaned up, and I need to do some more item moving and stuff like that. I'm going to be working on this off camera, but that is all the time that I have for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think we made some good progress today. Before I end real quick, I wanted to show, I know some people are going to ask me how am I sorting my items, so I just wanted to walk you through it. Over here we have craftable items. Here we have the saplings and some leaf blocks that I use very regularly. This is all food items. This is brick items. Here we have just some of the common nether ones. We have the sandstone items, actually missing an item in this one, which isn't correct. So that is odd. Let's see. We'll have to come back and fix that one. I don't know what happened there. And then let's see. We got quartz. Of course, we have the concrete blocks that I have so far, the wool blocks that I have so far, the prismarine, wood variants, some seeds and farmable items, dyes, and that one. That's what's really nice about the system. It is slow, but you are able to sort a lot of different items very easily. Yeah, so kelp, sugarcane, stuff like that. Mob drops in this one. Glass, rare items, stone variants, the polished stone variants, stuff like that, some dirt and clay variants, all the wood types here. Now this is the bulk sorter, so this is where the other system is going to feed out rails, and then of course redstone in the last one. We just got to get one piece of sugarcane to fill up that chest over there. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode here on the Minegard SMP. Later guys.